Look, I gotta be completely honest here. Um, this team's just not good enough. They're not good enough because if at any stage in a game, or if in any game, it is not a Caitlin Clark and like Aaliyah Boston takeover. Unless they literally are out here taking over, or say not Aaliyah Boston, use Kelsey Mitchell takeover. They're just not winning games. Like, I thought Aaliyah, from the bits I saw of this game, like I watched back the extended highlights and I watched bits of it on a plane. I thought Aaliyah was fine. But the problem is that like she is the biggest contract in the league. And I understand this year the cap hit's not that, but she has a poison pill. She is a long-term poison pill. So when we're talking about long-term team building, like it is pretty much a like it's a big thing there. And the only one of the only positives is that Michaela Timpson is on a minimum for 2 more years. But like, I don't think people truly understand that like Sophie's probably gone next year. Ty Harris is definitely gone next year. She's making $400,000 this year. Ty Harris is on a 1 year deal. And the problem is that if you want to keep any of these players, you are going to have to give Ty Harris the minimum. There is no logic for Ty Harris taking a minimum. Taking a minimum to be a 10-minute a game player. Ty Harris could go to fucking Houston next year and be their starting point guard. If the Houston Comets are trying to be like, because the Connecticut Sun are near the bottom, to be semi-competent, she could go to Seattle and be a vet presence for whoever they draft. She could go to, there's a lot of places she could go to, but like if she could sign a 1 year $650K contract, whereas if people want to keep her next year, they're going to have to offer the minimum. Like, I don't think people get it based on percentages of the salary cap, how screwed the Fever are. And everyone's like, the salary cap goes up. That doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't necessarily matter because what is Aaliyah's contract? Aaliyah's contract is 20% of the salary cap. So it doesn't matter if the salary cap goes up. Raven Johnson's contract raises by more than the salary cap can go up at a max. Grace Vance Luton's on a minimum, so her contract doesn't matter. Mercedes Russell's not going to be there. Mo Billings' contract is the only one of these contracts that doesn't increase by more than the salary cap increase. She's the only player from this year and next year who takes less of a salary cap hit. You're not getting Mai Shines Allen for $310K. You're just not. She has proven that she can be a solid backup power forward. You're not being able to afford her. And if you want to keep Caitlin Clark on this team and Kelsey Mitchell on this team, you basically have Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell. You've basically got this starting five, Monique Billings, and every other player has to be on a minimum. And there's nothing else you can do. You can't really get off these players. And if you get off these players, the only thing you can do by getting off these players is by giving up your first round picks. If you can convince some dumb GM to take the Mo Billings contract, which is you can get off that's possible. Because she is a semi-competent power forward. And $800K is an overpay for her, but it's not that much of an overpay on a 1 year deal for a team that has salary cap space. And if you, as well as that, go and maybe they'll take the contract if you attach Raven Johnson to it for a 3rd round pick or something. They could go and do that. They genuinely could. Like, there is a world where that is a legitimate option, but like you would have to attach Raven. I think Lexi Hull's contract, you're not getting off Lexi Hull's contract. You're just not. Monique Billings is at least in a position. She is at least in a position of need. That being said, again, when it comes down to it, in a position of need. Like, there are so many players you can get to do Lexi Hall things that are a third of her price on the unrestricted free agency market. Like, with Mo Billings, unfortunately, these bigs are scary overpriced. So, a team, if they just believe in Raven Johnson, might take Raven Johnson. Might take the Mo Billings contract to get Raven for free. But they're in a really bad spot because, look, you can, if you want to keep the big three, the rest of the team is going to be worse next year than it is this year. The Epic provisions have fucked it. They fucked it. I mean, they were supposed to have money in this offseason. The problem is, even if they had money in this offseason, they wouldn't use it. They wouldn't use it properly because we know this front office. It's a really tough spot for teams to be in. It's a really, really tough spot for the Indiana Fever. It's a really, really tough spot for their GM, who's just not good enough. Their GM is just not good enough. I think we could all understand that. Their GM is not good enough. They didn't scout well enough. They made a couple of really bad decisions, and it's not too long term. The problem is that, like, they can get off everything if they punt on next season. But, like, then suddenly Kelsey Mitchell's 31. You punt on next season, Kelsey Mitchell's 31, and it's like, how do you project her longevity to be? I think she gets till 33 maybe, but then you've Caitlin Clark's going into year 5 with a big three that is going nowhere. And I don't know if it's a fault of their own. Like, let's just match up common contracts. Let's just say, instead of Lexi Hall, the Indiana Fever had found, had understood what Phoebish was and got themselves in on that trade with Chicago Sky for Phoebish to be a throw-in. Let's say, hypothetically, you've got Phoebish there instead of Hall. And instead of KK Timpson, you've got... Let's say if you Phoebish instead of Hall, you had big money to spend on a power forward. If instead of KK Timpson, you had... Is there any superstar power? Is there any, like, star in their role power forwards that would work here? I don't even know if there's a star. You know what? I think we could get something out of Alana Smith. I think we could, but, like, I don't know. Heck, fuck it, even with KK. But, like, if you were to replace Lexi with Phoebish, and in the bench, you had anyone that can do anything. As in, if you look at the Liberty, they have Maureen Johannes, who can actually play. Like, Beck Allen, someone that's pretty not bad. They've got Han. Like, they've got a much better bench. The Fever have kind of Sophie and kind of Ty Harris. Have Sophie and kind of Ty Harris. Whereas even if they had decided, okay, we're going to keep our 2025 draft pick, and we're going to take Zaza James, and Zaza James is our sixth player, and she's kind of our bench scorer, and gives us a bench. It gives us an actual bench lineup. Like, I don't know. There's ways of working it. There's so many ways. Had they drafted Medina O'Cott, that's their backup big. Like, there's a world where you have a proper supporting cast around the big three, and the Indiana Fever are the best team in this league. The problem is the supporting cast around this big three is terrible. Like, if you took the 3 best players off every team, where do we rank the Fever? I rank the Fever dead last in 15th. So, like, we're going to look at the Storm here. So the Storm are the worst team in the WNBA. They're the worst team in the WNBA. And we're going to look at what their roster is looking like without their 3 best players. Their 3 best players of Heidemann, at this point in time, Heidemann, Flau'jae, and Malonga. That's their 3 best players. So this is the last place team minus their 3 best players. Jane Melbourne, Zaya Cook, Awa Pham, Ezzy Magbagor, Jordan Horston, Steph Dolson, Katie Lou, Mackenzie Holmes. Versus Michaela Timpson, Lexi Hall, Maisha Hines-Allen, Monique Billings, Mercedes Russell, Sophie Cunningham, Ty Harrison, Grace Van Sloot, and Raven Johnson. I'm sorry, it's like if you take the 3 best players off the worst team and the 3 best players off the Fever, the Storm might win by 15 points. The last place Seattle Storm have more depth than the Indiana Fever, have a better supporting cast, if you consider that, around their quote-unquote big 3, around their best 3 players. The Connecticut Sun as well, they're second last. I'm going to say the exact same thing for the Connecticut Sun. Did they win today, actually? Well, they lost, even after Hamby tried to take Reagan Beer's head off, they lost. So, best 3 players on the Connecticut Sun are Brittany Griner, Layla Lacan, and we'll give Ono that. We'll give Ono third best player. Or, Aaliyah Edwards. Doesn't really matter. So let's say Aaliyah Edwards is the third best player. They have a bad best 3. So then the rest of the team. Diamond Miller, Ashlon Jackson, Ledger Walker, one of Aaliyah Edwards or Ono, Reagan Beers, Kennedy Burke, Nell, Sanaya Rivers. Like, that is comparable. That might be worse than the Fevers, but it's not by much. It's not by much. Like, I don't think people get it. Like, they have surrounded the quote-unquote big 3 with what is the worst supporting cast we have ever seen. We have ever seen on a quote-unquote contender. The only team that might have less depth is the Las Vegas Aces, who, by the way, I don't think are any better than the Indiana Fever. I just think they have a better coach and they have the best player. Like, I think it is like I just think they have the better player in AJ Wilson right now. And I think Jackie Young is the third best player. I think if you look at these teams, it is 1 Aja, 2 Caitlin, 3 Jackie, 4 Kelsey, 5 Aaliyah, 6 Chelsea probably. And then 7's probably Nalissa. 8 is, I don't know if I go Sophie or Jewel Lloyd. But yeah, it is like, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, look, I am well and truly, like, out on this team as a playoff contender. I hope they have a fun playoff run, and I hope I'm wrong. We're just getting nothing from Lexi Hall. Caitlin's, look, again, the big 3 come out for 60 today. This team scored 102 and they lost. They're the only team that can do this. That can put up 100 points and lose. Like, they're averaging like 95 points per game. It's not even funny. You can put up 100 points against a decent defense and lose. She gave 109 points in regulation. Like, this isn't the first time they've done this either. But anyway, I'll see you guys.